Hello and welcome to today's video. So today we will be discussing about Oedogonium. Oedogonium is an algae, particularly the green algae. It comes under the class Chlorophyceae, under the order Oedogoniales, family Oedogoniaceae. So this genus Oedogonium, it is represented by more than 285 species, and this is a freshwater algae. And as you can see in the figure given here, it is a filamentous algae. The plant body is a filament. It is multicellular. You can see many cells here, multicellular and unbranched also. These are individual filaments. It is unbranched and uniseriate filaments. And actually this filament has a polarity. It has apical and basal polarity. That is, the both apical cell and basal cell both are they are not cylindrical, but all the intercalary cells, they are cylindrical. And the basal cell, actually it is a attached form, and it attaches to the substratum by means of a basal cell, and that is called as holdfast. Actually it is a rhizoidal cell, and this rhizoidal cell modifies to form a holdfast. So it attaches to the substratum by means of a holdfast. It is a simple or maybe multi-lobed disc-shaped holdfast. And the apical cell, it is also not cylindrical, and it is a actually it is a rounded shaped apical cell. So apart from these two, holdfast and apical cell, all other cells are cylindrical and are arranged end to end. See, so it is arranged like this. And these intercalary cells, they are a little bit swollen on their upper part. So these intercalary cells, they show a type of swelling around their upper part. And these intercalary cells, they show a particular type of ring-like structure, and these ring-like structures are called caps, and the cells which contain this annular ring-like structure are called the cap cells. See here, these are the cap cells. So this is about the filament structure. And we will see how this cap is formed. See in this figure, this illustrates about the cap formation. So it is actually the result of a peculiar type of cell division, and what happens is a ring-like cellulose or hemicellulose appears on the lateral walls. It actually occurs a little below the distal septum. See, it actually comes a little below the distal septum. This is the distal septum, and a ring-like structure is formed. A thickened ring of cellulose is formed just below the distal septum, and this ring slowly becomes thicker and wider. And after the nuclear and cytoplasmic division, what happens is this septum is formed to separate these two daughter cells, and this septum, after cytokinesis, it appears like a floating septum, and the cell wall ruptures at the point of this ring, and the ring extends vertically. See here, it extends vertically. It was a small ring at the initial stage, and this becomes to extend vertically thereafter. And finally, the septum joins the parent cell wall and the proximal end of the ring. The distal portion of the broken parent wall persists as a cap, and the cell which contains this type of cap is called cap cell. See, when this septum joins the cell wall of the parent cell, this ring breaks down, and this portion of the ring remains as a cap-like structure here. So this is how a cap is formed. And next we will be going through the reproduction section. Reproduction, we will be dealing with the asexual mode of reproduction, particularly in this video. So actually reproduction takes place by vegetative, asexual and sexual methods in case of Oedogonium. And vegetative reproduction, as you know, common method is fragmentation. So here also fragmentation is the means of vegetative reproduction. Coming to the asexual reproduction, it occurs by zoospore and achaenates. And this zoospore formation or asexual reproduction occurs during the favorable condition. And how is the zoospore formation occurring? You can see here in this diagram. So for this zoospore formation, they require the presence of adequate amount of carbon dioxide in the surrounding water. And the zoospores, as you can see, this is a large multi-flagellated. The flagella are seen like a ring around the top. It is a top-like structure actually, and they are formed singly. It is a large cell, multi-flagellate and formed singly. And it is formed in zoosporangia. See, this is the zoosporangia. And during the formation, the protoplast of the zoosporangium contracts and rounds off, and the nucleus migrates to a beak-like area on one side of the protoplast. And then a large number of blepharophast granules are formed around this area, and they develop flagella. And as the zoospore matures, the cell wall of the zoosporangium ruptures and transverse. It is actually occurring transversely, and the cell bursts open into two halves. The zoospore enclosed within a delicate, you can see here a delicate mucilage. See here. So it is enclosed within a delicate mucilaginous vesicle, and it escapes out as the cell breaks down, and then it has flagella, multiflagellate, so it can swim in the water for a short period and until it comes and or it matures and germinates. Mature zoospore is actually a spherical structure, or it may be a pear-shaped structure. It has a cell wall, uninucleate and multiflagellate structure. The flagellas are actually occurring like a crown around the top of the zoospore. This liberated zoospore, it settles down somewhere and it withdraws its flagella and secretes its own cell wall. The anterior end of the zoospore, it elongates to form a holdfast, and it germinates actually to form a new filament. This is how asexual reproduction occurs through zoospore formation. And another mode of asexual reproduction is through achaenate formation. And achaenates are actually resting bodies, and they are thick-walled, reddish-brown colored structures. So resting bodies which are thick-walled, reddish-brown, and the shape may be mostly rounded. So that bodies are called achaenates, and they are formed in a chain. It is formed in a chain-like manner, and around 10 to 40 achaenates are formed in a chain. So each achaenate is formed from a single cell. Each cell transforms to each achaenate, and when the favorable condition occurs, it germinates to form a new plant. So that is about achaenate formation. So to brief, reproduction in Oedogonium takes place through vegetative, asexual and sexual methods, and here we were discussing only the particularly asexual method. Vegetative method is common through fragmentation. Asexual occurs through two methods, zoospore formation and achaenate formation. Zoospore is formed through a single cell, and a single protoplast rounds off to form a beak-like structure, and it comes out enclosed within a mucilaginous sheath, and when the parent cell breaks up, it comes out and liberated in the water, and it is a pear-shaped or spherical structure with a crown of flagella. It has a nucleus and isport and all are present. When it settles down somewhere, it withdraws its flagella and germinates to form a new filament. Likewise, akineids are it is formed from a single cell, and they are formed in a chain-like manner, and they are thick-walled reddish-brown colored bodies which germinate to form a new plant. That is all about asexual reproduction.